Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Black Talent TV presents Beat in the Talk. My name is Simone Jackson. I'm your co-host for today's show, and I want to thank you guys for stopping by. We have a very special guest today, Dave Brown. But before we get into that, before I get into him, I just want to do a quick shout out and thank you to our sponsor for today's show, Koss Headphones. Koss Headphones is a unique and qualified headphones with a really dynamic sound. On a personal note, I love Koss headphones for their selling fashion and their really contour comfortable fit. And I know filmmakers, musicians, and music lovers out there will also love Koss headphones. So make sure you check them out at kossheadphones.com. Make sure you check out their Twitter and Instagram, and make sure you check them out at Koss headphones. All right, so back to the interview today with Dave Brown. He is the founder of Indie Night Film Festival, a weekly film festival that is in LA. What's really great about this film festival that it produces weekly content, which is different from the original film festivals that do monthly. This one does weekly. Dave, he's been a really great friend to people like Morris Chestnut, Jamie Foxx. He's been an influencer for filmmakers for a very long time. So Dave, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you, Simone. How you doing? Happy New Year's, by the way.
Happy New Year's to you. I am doing well. Thank you for coming by. We really appreciate you stopping by for our interview today. It's really great to have you on. I'm excited to be talking with you. And yeah, we're really great for you taking the time.
Oh, no problem at all. You know, I know that this is a great radio show, and I said, yeah. You know, when my assistant brought it to me, I said, yeah, definitely, I'll go on. You know, always never feel like I'm number one too busy, because you always want to get the word out there and let everybody know what's going on, especially when you're dealing with good people. So, thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Thank you. We really appreciate your work. And like I said, you are the founder of Indie Night Film Festival. It's a weekly film festival that premieres in LA. Again, weekly. You produce weekly content. I got to know, because I have to ask, because again, some film festivals struggle just doing monthly, even yearly film festivals, getting that content, getting the people, getting everything set up. You are a genius that does it weekly. You are the first, actually, that does it weekly. Can you tell us the challenges and the rewards that comes with doing something like that?
Well, you know, I was a film and theater major at Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia. And when I was there, you know, when you're a senior year and you're about to graduate, and of course, you know, you have to do a senior film before you graduate. And the one thing I understood was that, you know, we had to show these films in front of everybody. And there were a lot of good films, but there were a lot of good films. And then after that, you go, well, what do you do with them next? You know? And a lot of people didn't know how to get into Hollywood. And when all these universities that are around that have, you know, that deal with filmmaking or acting or directing, you know, these people, these are art. This is the art that's being shown, and you're creating art. And there's some good art that's out there. They just need to have that. Sorry about that. At the end of the day, it's I said, my motto is, why should you have to wait once a year to be seen and you miss all this work in between? And, you know, we know that most film festivals are once a year, you know, and, you know, you should never have to wait once a year to see your art, whether you be an actor, whether you be a director, whether you be a writer. Because at the end of the day, you want that instant, you know, I want to call this agent down, or I want to call this studio down to see a film that I did, and you want to get moving. And, you know, most times, you know, Hollywood works like, what's the last thing you've done? And they say, well, I did a movie 2 weeks ago, but it won't come out till next year. Who wants to wait that long, you know? So I started, and it was crazy, Simone, because, you know, when I told everybody I was doing a weekly film festival, they said it'll never work. And the one thing about it you got to understand about me, I'm a Brown, number one, and you can never tell a Brown that something will never work, because I'm going to prove you wrong. And so now I'm stepping into my 6th season, and I do it at the TCL Chinese Theater, which is the historical theater on Hollywood Boulevard in Hollywood. And we give everybody an opportunity. We show short films, web series, trailers, documentaries, and full features. And so it's been a wonderful experience. And, it's when you understand your purpose, and I understand that, God brought me on this earth to bring people together. And that's an ability I have. I can bring all the writers, the directors, the producers together. And when you do that, everybody should network and want to work together and create something that the whole world can love.
I agree to that. And I like how you said you're brown. You can't. People can't say no to you. People can't say you can't do it because you're going to prove them wrong. And it's about
Right.
proving them wrong. And at the end of the day, it's also about producing content and bringing people together. And that's kind of the
Right.
heart and message of Blacktown TV, which is why we want you down here, Dave, because you represent that message. It is about, bringing people together to bring and produce content that, hopefully that will make an impact,
Right.
we completely understand. What I understand is your inspiration for the Indie Night was because of the monthly short film showcase by Doughboy Dozens. Um,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really want to get into your inspirations about, the Doughboy Dozens and how that, came to light and how that produced Indie Night Film Festival.
Well, the Doughboy Dozens back in the day, when I moved to LA was back in the 90s and 92. And back then, Doughboy Dozens by Eugene Williams was a guy that was doing um, a monthly film festival. Everybody would be there. Like the Eric LaSalle's, you have every director and actor would come there that are all big now. And they would come there and we watch films. And back then, it was the projector, reel to reel. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody would sit on the floors and we would watch all these films. And it was just the greatest thing. And bless his soul, Eugene Williams, he passed away. And it was a void. Nobody was doing anything on a monthly, a weekly, and most film festivals were still once a year. And so I said, you know what? This is what I have a motto. Another motto is mine: out of sight, out of mind. How can I put you down if I don't see you? So if I'm
Yes.
bringing all the writers, the directors, the actors, producers all in one place, that I call it my golf course, metaphorically speaking, where the golf course is where most deals are made in the world. And if people play golf, if you play golf, you understand that most deals that people make in the world are on the golf course. So if I can create my golf course, which I'm doing with Indie Night, I have writers, directors, producers, actors there. They're all there to network, see each other's work, see who has, because at the end of the day, these are the directors, the writers of tomorrow. And if you're an actor that is still advanced, you still want to get to know the directors that are coming in are new. And the directors of later on still want to get the fresh new talent. So I want to be that incubator for the studios, for those independent filmmakers who have money that want to invest in something, and they come to me and they say, "Hey, Dave Brown, what's out there? What's new?" And it's been a great situation, and now we're able to partner up with the actor Morris Chestnut, who's well known in
Absolutely.
Hollywood, and is a producer and is doing very well, and has partnered up with Indie Night as well, because now we're taking it on the road as well. But we're going to do it once a month on the road, and we're going to be the American Idol for films, and bringing back all those great films around the United States and bringing them back over to Hollywood, but stay a part of them and give them those first look deals that Morris has, and that and walk them in the studios to get them made. Because you got to understand, that's the hard part. You can't drop somebody in Hollywood and say, okay, go make it. It takes years. You got to know people. And
Absolutely.
this business is all about who you know, not what you know.
Agreed. Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with that, Dave. And I'm glad you actually took something that inspired you and created something that now is inspiring other people, because it inspired me. So I like that you took that inspiration from the Boy Doesn't and made something that isn't not only bringing people together, but it's merging. And like you said, in Hollywood, it's all about who you know. So
Right.
you're merging the young talent and the veterans of the business together, and I think that's great. I think and you're doing it with genuine integrity.
Oh, thank you.
Which, yes, and that's what really spoke out to me with what you're doing. and
Yeah.
that you're doing it with absolutely integrity. So, again, with the inspiration of Doughboys being one of your inspirations,
Right.
let's go back to as you were younger.
Yes.
What are the films that you can recall watching, or who are the actors and actresses you recall watching and just think, okay, you know what? One day I want to connect with people like this. Because I know as a kid,
Well,
you didn't just wake up one day and go, guess what? My friend's Morris Chestnut and Jamie Foxx. I know, as a kid,
right.
you got to have people just like them that you looked up to. Can you give us,
Well,
uh, yeah.
what I did was, I come from, my father is a minister.
Mm-hmm.
He's Dr. Amos C. Brown. He's a big minister in San Francisco, California.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've always grew up in the church, but always grew up entertaining. I was either in the choir, doing the plays. And then, of course it took a toll. It hit me when I went to college, because I played basketball in high school and in college. And so when I was in college, though, I was like, okay, what do I want to do? Because that does come across you, you know
Expected, yes.
and I was just like, okay, do I do what my father's doing? Because they say the ministers run in families, in the
Mm-hmm.
family, and you have, you become a minister as well. And so I said, you know what? I remember saying I stood up in front of the whole church congregation and I told them, I am going to be Reverend David J. Brown. And you should have seen it. The old ladies were like, oh Lord, I knew you was going to do it. I knew you was just like your daddy. I knew it. I knew it. And I really was like, okay, after all that, you go, okay, now I got to live up to this, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But but it was crazy because I went back to college and I
Mm-hmm.
was going into seminary. I mean, not seminary, but I was going to go to philosophy. I was going to major in philosophy. And then I started thinking about it and I said, wait a minute. And I said, am I doing this because of my father? Or am I doing this because this is the love that I want to do?
Exactly.
And I said, I entertain my family for a reason. And I was very scared to come to my mom and dad and say, I want to be an actor. And so I remember coming home from school one year, and and after all that happened at the church and everything, and I said, "Can I meet with you?" I met with him in the office, and I said, "Mom, Dad," and I'm shaking him in my boots. I'm shaking,
Oh dear.
and they were like, "Yes." I said, "I want to be an actor," and I thought they was gonna go, "No, we didn't send you to Morehouse to go to no actor. No, we gonna do it. No, 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 no." But you know what? The first person that said something was my father. And my father said to me, he said, son, if that's what you want to be, we are going to be behind you and support you in everything you do. And I took off running. I said, oh my goodness, are you serious? And I was like, boom, that was it. And the light went on. And as soon as I graduated, I moved to LA. And when I moved to LA, Simone, it was the only person I knew when I moved out here was Morris Chestnut. And Morris was my high beams in Hollywood, because you got to have somebody that gives you the do's and the don'ts.
Of course,
You
absolutely.
know, most people get, it's crazy because we're about to close to the same in age. We're a year apart, Morris and I, and it's like most people, they're like, I don't want this guy to, even though his career already took off, they look at competition. People don't want to, they don't want to give you no lead way, but
Exactly.
he gave me so much knowledge about the business. And what I would do was I would go and act and doing, booking commercials and working on TV shows and stuff. And then all of a sudden, my birthday would come around. And see, I'm the guy that when I go into auditions, I know everybody there. So I'm, hey, how you doing? You good? Good, 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 good. Because it's all about relationships. That's one thing I always knew in life, is about relationships and building core, strong relationships. And so I remember sitting there going, okay, I'm going to do a birthday party and I'm going to invite everybody. And I remember throwing a party and I had everybody there from Wesley Snipes to, and this is when they were big, when they huge. Shaquille O'Neal, when he just came to the Lakers, it was incredible, you know. So it was a big thing. So I had all the who's who was in the parties, and then you could see everybody was going, "Who is this guy, Dave Brown?" And then I started where a partner of mine came to me and said, "Let's do a night together." And I said, "I don't want to do a night that's not going to make sense, but I'll do it once a month." And he says, "What do you mean?" I said, "What if I'm going to do a night with my name attached to it? I want people to benefit in a way to where they're growing in the business." So he said, "Well, what do you want to do?" I said, "We're going to do this thing called First Sundays." First Sundays? I said, "Yeah, we're going to bring all the writers, the directors, the producers, the actors, everybody in one place. And we're going to have them party. But if they do it once a month, they'll be doing business at the same time." And I knew that once I'm doing this, I'm going to be seeing these guys when I walk in the casting rooms, when I walk in, you know, for me, you know, you build the relationships. And that's what I did, Simone. And I ended up becoming a brand where everybody would come to. If you haven't been to a Dave Brown party back in the 90s and in the 2000s, then you're missing out. And so it was one of those, experiences. And this is where it all came. And then after that, I started doing parties all the time, and was doing great. You're pretty much the brand everybody comes to and see. But then my mom gave me that call, and when my mom gave me that call, she says, "Let me ask you something, son." She says, "Everybody knows you. You have parties, everybody's there. People leave, they go home, they're drunk. They go home, they may beat their wives. They go home, they may, get in car accidents. But what is your purpose?" And Simone, she hit me hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Oh, Mom, what do you mean? What is your purpose? What did God put you on this earth for? And what did he put you on to do? To throw parties for all this to happen?" And that's when I had to come and say, okay, I know my worth now. And my purpose is to bring people together. So if I'm going to bring people together, I want to bring people together for what I struck the match to do when I came to LA. And that was to create an environment where people can work together, create films, write. I want to see everybody win. I'm that guy. I'm that guy in Hollywood that want to see everybody win. I don't have a jealous bone in my body. I want to see everybody win. So I knew that God put me in Hollywood for a reason, and told me he's going to give me this tool, because you know what? It's hard to be in an environment and be able to socialize with people. Some people have it, some people don't.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what the calling was to do. And now I'm in my 6th season of Indie Night, and it's a wonderful situation. But I love helping people.
Absolutely. And that really, and you know what? Can we all thank mothers for keeping it real?
All day.
Can we please thank our moms for keeping it real? Because my mom keeps it 100% real and honest with me. And, that's what keeps me, continue on my grind, because, your mother's words just hit me. I've never met her, and her words just hit me like, wow, what is my purpose? She's got me thinking, got me in my head. Like, that's really powerful. So I know that must have been like just at like, whoa, for you.
Yeah.
But as I was reading about you, Dave, I want to just continue to elaborate on that. You said you brought and created Indie Night Film because of the disconnect you felt in your community.
Right.
Could you elaborate on that with the disconnect and how it kind of helped birth?
I don't think there's enough brotherhood and sisterhood in Hollywood. This is a place where everybody's about me, 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 me. And I've never been that way, and so I was never raised that way. And so, and anything you do in life, I mean, it's and me playing basketball in high school and stuff. I didn't win the championships that I won because it was about me. It's about a team. And if you have a director, if you have an actor, if you have the money, and if you have the writer, you're putting something together where you're creating something phenomenal for people to touch. And then the number one thing is I say in filmmaking is scoring.
Yes.
The scoring of a film with all these components put together, and these are individuals that have to do this. You know what I'm saying? So there's not enough, and people like to stay within their own little pocket of people and do things. But there's a lot of talent out here, and we don't reach out to help one another. And that's what we have to do in Hollywood. And see, right now, I'm gonna tell you something. What happened with this Weinstein thing that's going on in Hollywood right now is one of the greatest things that could have ever happened. And I mean that in a way because now everybody has to be true.
Absolutely.
To the talent, and not because do this for me and I'll do this for you. And even if you do this for me, I may not do it for you. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Now it goes back to talent. So
it does.
This is a great time with the Golden Globes and everything happening this past Sunday, and what Oprah said, and you see everybody coming together. And you know what? And like they say, hey, with Trump being the president right now, it's the greatest thing ever. You know why? Because now America needs to wake up.
Yes.
Wake up and understand that it takes something like this. God put that man in there for a reason, for us to wake up and start coming back together again. Because, if anybody didn't see it, what Oprah said on Sunday, she's running for president. If we go off of what she said on Sunday,
absolutely, she's got my vote.
Yeah,
she's got. I'd be more than happy to vote for President Oprah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just to continue on with that, with what's happening in Hollywood, with the Me Too, with the Time's Up, do you think now in 2018 will finally will Hollywood finally open up, doors for women and people of color in the writers' room and in the directing? Do you think we'll finally see that change?
Yeah, I think we will, because see, these people of higher powers were blacklisting people, and stopping people from getting jobs, and because of not being attracted to them or not doing what they have, you know what I'm saying? That's not what talent, that's not what creating a film. It's all about talent. It's about seeing true talent. And you know this, you didn't see some films where you go, wait a minute, how did that person get that role? Woo, hold on, wait a minute. And then you say they outdid who? You got to be kidding me. Come on. Something's going on. And this is what we go through all the time in Hollywood. But it's a great time for all filmmakers now to understand that we need to rally around, come together, and respect the woman, respect all mankind, and understand that, we can all work together.
Absolutely. And let's just hope that, Hollywood will listen and take this message and really listen to what people are not only saying, but people are craving. Diversity is still something that's lacking in Hollywood. And when there is diversity, it kind of gets ignored. Like Girls Trip, for example. Tiffany Haddish was snubbed. I don't know how. That movie was phenomenal. She was phenomenal. Why do you feel that Hollywood kind of just dismisses, the success of films like Girls Trips?
Well, I mean, number one, you got to think it goes back further than that, because you got to think about it. Number one, hats off to Malcolm Lee.
Absolutely.
Because Malcolm Lee continues to put out great products.
Oh, absolutely.
But what I believe that Hollywood doesn't want to see is the fact that they don't want to see black talent in good light. The black people in good light in Hollywood on film. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't show on drugs. You show, when you watch Malcolm Lee's first one, The Best Man, I mean, everybody had a career. Yeah. Everybody was doing something. Everybody was, was doing great. And it had a great storyline. This right here is showing powerful black women coming together, showing that they can take a trip, and all the accolades they go through with just girl power. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so I think that when you really sit back and sometimes they'll think, oh, well, it won't make no money. But then when it does, they go, well, wait a minute. Everybody scratches their head once they see the numbers. You know, so
Absolutely.
I think that it's always, it's happened a long time ago where they don't want to see us in, think about how many shows, even on TV, that have been put out there and then they've been pulled off the air right away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are shows that, that are great. But at the end of the day, what does it do? It's targeting a certain audience, and then you start getting certain amount of viewership, and then they want to pull a show for whatever the reason is. But, you know, we have to change. We have to turn it around, but only we can do it.
Absolutely.
And so I try to educate all the filmmakers coming, because I've been in the game over 25 years now. And so I understand what it takes to make it and what you have to do. And so I try to educate all of them when they're, there. I sit and talk to all the filmmakers and let them know, hey, this is how Hollywood is going right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I completely agree with you. And I'm hoping in 2018, we will continue to be woke, and hopefully Hollywood will see numbers are there, the demand's there, the talent is there. There's no reason why it needs to continue to be ignored. It needs to be recognized. It needs, we need recognition. Absolutely.
Right.
Sterling K. Brown just became,
Yeah.
first single actor to win for drama, which is great. But in 2018, first, we should have a long line,
Right.
So
Right.
hopefully, with that, you have inspiring, filmmakers, actors, actresses, or who are trying to be the next, say, Sterling K. Brown, to be the next Dave Brown. But what advice can you say to them when they are facing with this type of hill and adversity?
Well, first of all, God first, number one.
Absolutely.
Number two, you cannot give up. They want to see you give up. They want to see you fail. If you believe, you have to believe in, number one, yourself. You have to believe that, I can overcome any obstacle, any barrier, because at the end of the day, they're going to throw them at you. That's just it. You got to be able to stay strong and know your worth. If everybody knew your worth and you knew your purpose and your worth, you cannot be stopped.
Absolutely.
And see, and that's one thing about me is nobody can say anything to me because I know my worth. I know what I can do and what I can't do. And if I can't do it, I'm sure going to learn how to do it. So when people tell me I can't do this or you won't be this, you know what somebody told me? When they told me that, it was a bad idea to do any night, I said, no, you know what it is? You like my ideal. That's what it is. That's why you don't want me to do it. So at the end of the day, seeing the outcome after going into my 6th season, I'm saying I made the right choice, but everything I did, I prayed on.
You know what? I really like that. They're saying that to you because it's not like they don't want you to do it. It's because they like your idea. When people like your idea, they will give you any reason for you to not do it. They will throw out any negative reason. And, that's same for me. I was told I shouldn't be doing my podcast. I shouldn't, but here I am doing it, speaking with someone like you. Look how far I come with the podcast, speaking with someone like you. And now that I'm looking back at it, I'm just wondering maybe they didn't want me to do this podcast because they didn't think of it first.
Right.
You didn't really actually think about that, Dave. And I really like how you turn that negative and you turn that into a positive, kind of not a positive, but you looked at it in a positive way, which changed your thinking, which still helps you continue your drive to do indie night film. And right. I just want to say, I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Now, with all your success that you have, how do you able to stay grounded with all this? Because sometimes with Hollywood, you can get swept up with the glamour, with the glitz, and all of that. How do you keep yourself leveled and just remember to keep yourself on your path?
Well, I'm a strong believer that God giveth, God taketh away. So if he's giving you something, value it and understand that you got to use it wisely. And it's you know I stay grounded by talking to my family, my friends. I know who my friends are, and I
Mhm.
know the ones that are not my friends. And if I know they don't like me, it's because of it's a jealousy thing. But at the end of the day, I still talk to them because I
Absolutely.
don't have a. I look at it like this. I'm not the type of guy who has to feel like I have to validate myself through somebody.
Hmm.
I validate myself through me and my relationship through God. And when I know He has answered my call so many times, like you know, I'm on call waiting. Oh, let me click over. That's what He does when I call.
Hmm.
No matter what call God is on, he'll click over and talk to me.
He's always
So
in your corner.
I stay grounded by now I have my brother out here now, and you just think about the people that are around you before it all happened,
Hmm.
and know that those people mean well. And then don't get me wrong, you also have some people that can't handle the success that you have around you, and they change, and you have to pull their cord and be like, hey man, what you doing?
Right.
You know, you wouldn't like this back. Come on. Don't let the success, but I'm in control of Hollywood. It doesn't control me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's great. And it's always good to have God in your corner, especially, when you are out on your road. It's good to have people in your corner like that, so that's
Mhm.
good. That's absolutely good. There is a quote that you said that stuck with me that I've just been thinking about. You said it's about making an imprint, not a soft print.
Yes,
Can you elaborate on that?
because when making the brand, I make sure that I can make an imprint by making sure that everybody knows what this name, Dave Brown, and knows what's behind this name and how, you want to be strong about the things that you do in life and that you believe in.
Hmm.
And I do. I have a strong imprint on helping people get to where they got to go, you know? And I believe that, somebody had to lead, and I'm able to. I like to lead. I can never be a follower. I can only be a leader.
Absolutely.
So in leading, you have to make sure that you push. Every step counts. Every step counts that you make, and when you do it, you want to make imprints so people can follow. You know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I completely totally agree with that. Absolutely, Dave. Absolutely. Um, so with the indie night and going back to with the diversity and making sure it's important for young emerging talent to have a platform. Um, how do you sometimes mix? How do you sometimes deal with mixing the young emerging talent with the veterans? Because sometimes it's not always easy with the networking.
Well, with the networking, you look at it like this. Talent number one has no age limit.
Hmm.
I've showed kids films from junior high, high school, because there's a lot of talent out there and they're starting young. See, you got to understand this. There's no such thing as you can't do it.
Absolutely, I agree
There's
with that.
kids now that are taking the iPhone and they're using it to shoot a short film. And I've showed it at my, I've showed a film at my festival, and I let the film go first. And everybody was like, "Oh my God, this is incredible." Do you know that young kid came up? He was 14 years old, came up on stage, and everybody went crazy. So at the end of the day, talent starts young.
Yeah, of course.
And with the social media and stuff like that, kids are more into the phones and stuff now that they're really like, how can I shoot this? And there's no reason why anybody shouldn't be able to put up whatever you know creation or thought that they have, or because films come through reality. All
Absolutely.
films come through reality,
Mm-hmm.
and in some way or form.
Equally.
And so they're when you bring them all today, the old can learn from the young can learn from the old, because at the end of the day, it's just like a dance move. It gets played, and all of a sudden, what's new? Okay, look what the young kids are doing over there. Oh, that's what's in right now. Oh, that's it. you know, and you start doing it. So it's, and we never like to get old. I always tell people, say, I'm not old, I'm seasoned. But,
Love
you
it.
know, but we always like to still stay young. And by staying young, we got to keep a watch on our young, but then also continue to educate them, because at the end of the day, they have not gone through the steps we have gone through life. But then you don't want them just to, you know, uh, have any regrets or just go the wrong way. So
Definitely.
you like to pull them all in the room and let them all see, because something is going to strike the match for that young, where you're watching a film and you're going, oh my God, that was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. I didn't want to do, radio and stuff like that till I know, I'm not sure if he did radio, but Arsenio Hall, I definitely was a huge fan of him.
Okay.
So I definitely wanted to imitate what he did, and I always watch some of his stuff, so I get that whole connection when young creates a spark. It definitely does. It creates a spark for me. It was one
Right.
of the reasons why I wanted to do it, and I definitely want to one day possibly be the first Black woman to have her own late night talk show. Especially on the ABC, NBC, the big channels. So
And you will. And you
yeah,
will. And you will, because you got to just go ahead and do it. The Nike sign, just do it, is what it stands for. Just go and do it. And the only thing that can happen is what? I mean,
right,
you have to fail to create the longevity of any
yeah,
situation. And I think, because I know, going back earlier, you had asked me about a question, and I'm sorry I forgot to answer it, but you said what film inspired me. And I think I have so much respect for Eddie Murphy,
oh yes,
because Eddie Murphy did something that most people can't do. And what I mean by that is the movie Harlem Nights.
love it.
He brought all those personalities and put it in one film. Do you understand how hard it was to have Richard Pryor, all those people in that one film, and be able to bring out that much talent and do a great film? And
Right,
that's what I say, oh my God, that's what I call a leader. That's who I am. I'm that guy that likes to bring everybody together, no matter who you are, what height you are, and let's make magic. And that's what he did. He did it on three occasions. On Coming to America, which was great.
absolutely.
Harlem Nights, and then when he did um the prison movie,
Oh,
Life.
ah,
Life.
life, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
life.
Life.
Yes, yes.
So those movies inspire me, a lot, because I say, hey, I know I can do it. I can bring everybody together and create. And if of course, if you have the money behind you, I can put everything else together, because all I do is make phone calls, because I've built relationships, and everybody knows that if I'm bringing something to them, I'm bringing something good. I'm not bringing something to where it's not going to make sense.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh yeah, no, I've written that upon as I was reading on you and studying you. I could definitely tell that you are another guy who will bring full force, who will just bring whatever he needs to the table. Absolutely, that you are that type of guy. I definitely got that reading from you, so for
Mhm.
sure. So Dave, so final question just to round it out here. I don't
Uh-huh.
know if this is a huge conversation in your area, but my area, I'm in the Seattle area, and one of the huge conversations of right now is movies dying because of TV? Now, TV 10 years ago, you couldn't see, people with Down syndrome on television 10 years ago, or The
Right.
Sister Wife. So, TV is bringing all these different diversities, to the front, while movies is kind of lacking. Do you think, in a way, that TV is kind of becoming the new movies because of their content?
Well, TV, I mean, I think it's a little different right now, because, come on, we think about it. Let's go back now. Let's think about the Martins,
Mm-hmm.
Martin Lawrence show,
Love it.
Jamie Foxx show.
Love it.
the Wayne brothers. Let's think. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
all these shows back in the day, Will Smith, Fresh Prince. You know,
Absolutely.
all these shows back in the day that really touched Moesha's,
In
the
living color.
and Living Color. All these shows, and think about it. Right now, you know what's taking over? Reality. And the thing about, everybody's doing reality now, but then it takes away from what we all love so much, and we run home to see at 8 o'clock. Martin and these type of shows, and we miss them now. We need them back. We,
Yeah.
and I know that some of these shows on different networks, because everybody's doing things a lot more independently now. But we need. I mean, there's a lot of people who say they haven't even watched NBC or CBS. These other TV shows and more, because all the TV shows are on different stuff or on Netflix.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now
Yeah.
people are going straight to Netflix to watch the shows, and they're not watching it just on regular times, or the ability to record something and watch it later on. I mean, you're not rushing home to watch it anymore, or you can see an episode that you missed. So I think it's all changing nowadays, but it's all about just creating your own lane of what you want to do. That's going to make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you. And I do believe it is reality. And shows like, In Living Color, Martin, they did have a heart, not just showing diversity, but they had a heart to their every message. And I do believe that is definitely missing today. Uh,
Right.
because I do believe with social media, it's hard to kind of give message to people, because it gets savagely destroyed on Twitter, if it's not agreeable with someone.
Right.
It's hard. So I do agree that we definitely need those shows back. I
And
am
and
glad. Oh, sorry, go on.
and with those shows, we have, I don't know if you know who Robbie Reed is. Robbie Reed is one of the biggest casting directors in Hollywood.
Hmm.
And so now she casts all the TV shows for BET now. But she's the one that cast Harlem Nights and did all the Spike Lee's movies. And she
Oh,
she found Jamie Foxx, found Halle Berry, found Samuel Jackson.
oh
Uh,
my
you know,
goodness.
she's the one that made all these guys stars. So Robbie Reed is a huge success for all these TV shows. And she comes down to Indie Night once a month to look for talent, to look for filmmakers. And so that's my sister in Christ, and she's wonderful, and she too as well uh, looks out for those and gives everybody the opportunity. So I love to surround myself with people like her, so we can have these type of TV shows, and she tells me what's
Yeah.
good and what's bad, So
Yeah. And if I were to meet her, I would say God bless her, because I absolutely love Harlem Nights. It is one of my personal favorites. It's a movie I can continue to watch over and over again. It's definitely one of my favorites, and it's great that you guys know her.
right,
Yeah,
right.
it's great.
She's a good person, great person to know. And she's one of those cast directors that gives out her email and says, hit me. It may take a little minute for me to get back to you, but she gives out her personal email because she believes in finding that talent.
And good. And we need that. And we definitely need that. Someone to find genuine talent and good. Because without her, she discovers, like you said, Halle Berry, Samuel Jackson. They're two of the biggest stars. So it's yeah. So for everyone out there, Indie Night Film Festival does premiere this Thursday.
No, no, it's on Saturdays.
Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday premieres this Saturday.
it's
So
it's
that's definitely.
every Saturday from 2:30 to 5:30 at the TCL Chinese Theater. And then if you go on the website, you can see the different cities that we'll be coming to. We're going to be starting with Atlanta, Miami, and New York first, and then we'll be hitting all the other cities, and it'll be once a month in the other cities. But it'll be weekly in Los Angeles and once a month in all these different cities. But it's Saturday from 2:30 to 5:30 at the TCL Chinese Theater.
So everyone definitely go out there, whoever's listening to Black TV Black Talent TV family, especially check it out. Young emerging talent, please go and definitely check it out. As me and Dave have been saying, we need young talent, especially to bring back, shows like, as again we said, Martin in Living Color. We definitely need that emerging talent to help bring back that. So definitely check out Indie Night Film Festival this Saturday, 2:30 to 5:30 at the Chinese, at the TLC Chinese Theater, right?
Yeah, TLC. Yeah,
TCL Chinese Theater
TCL Chinese Theater.
at
Yeah, and then we have Q Nice, who would be who's the host there, and then we have guest hosts that come in as well. So it's gonna be a wonderful situation. Come down, I guarantee everybody will enjoy it, and you'll meet a lot of people that you want to work with in
Oh,
the years to come.
absolutely. So yeah, we definitely encourage everyone to go on down. Dave, I know Black Talent TV would love to one day do a coverage at Indie Night. It sounds like a great, great festival, and we would definitely love to one day meet you live in person. And we just think it's you've just been really great for the show. We really truly appreciate you coming down and talking with me today.
You got it. Thank you very much, Simone. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So everyone, make sure you check out the Indie Night Film Festival this Saturday. Thank you, Dave Brown, again for definitely coming down and speaking with us. We really appreciate you, and we really appreciate giving you your thoughts today. I know everyone listening is going to be really inspired, and we'll definitely be rushing down to see you. So I'm pretty sure Saturday is going to be a beyond huge and big
Yes.
for you. You're
And
going to
also
be bombarded.
and also the website to submit people's films is Indie Night, INDIENIGHTFF.com. So IndieNightFF.com. And then, the Instagram is Indie Night, INDIEFF, at Indie Night FF. And then mine's is at Dave Brown USA.
Yep, yeah, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it from him. Make sure you guys check it out. We are excited to see the new talent. We're excited to see what everyone produced. I know Dave excited to see everyone is going to excited to see the new quality content that will be produced and be put out. So I'm excited. I can't wait. And I know, again, as I said, Saturday is going to be just a huge success. Again, one day, definitely love to come down and definitely, do a coverage for Black Talent TV. We think Indie Night would be a great thing to cover. You guys do a wonderful work, and yeah, we really appreciate what you guys do.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you.
Absolutely. Okay, again, everyone, we want to thank our sponsors, Koss. Make sure you guys checking them out at Koss for the headphones. Really perfect for filmmakers, musicians, and music lovers. Again, personally, I love Koss for the high quality sound and their comfort contour fit. So definitely make sure you guys check them out. And if you guys would like to come down and advertise or come down and speak with me on Black Talent TV, info at blacktalenttv.com. My name is Simone Jackson. Again, Indie Night Film founder Dave Brown. We really appreciate you guys coming down and listening to us. Thank you guys for stopping by. And everyone, Black Talent TV, you guys have a beautiful day. Bye.